It is arguably the most famous hotel in Hawaii history.
But today, Coco Palms on Kauai sits dilapidated, rotting, a sad shell after decades of debate over what to do with it. And tonight, KITV4's Laurie Yamada takes us through its eerie halls.
As a momentum for a new plan has many believing Coco Palms will finally be reborn.
Everybody came here.
Vibrant, even in black and white, the famous faces helping to create the legend of Coco Palms.
And a lot of the old customers will tell you it's really special because of the people. Columbia Pictures came and they built a whole military village in here.
For nearly 20 years, Bob Jasper has enlightened the masses about the hotel on the edge of a coconut grove. In 1953, owner and manager Grace Guslander made that vision a reality, opening Kauai's Coco Palms off the banks of the Wailua River. Her slice of paradise quickly turning into a Hollywood playground. Take Frank Sinatra.
Finally, Avi Gardner dumped him because he raised so much havoc on Kauai.
There was Rita Hayworth, theater great Helen Hayes. Partaking in a Hawaiian ceremony, there's Bing Crosby in the middle. South Pacific's Mitzi Gaynor soaking up the sun. Local stars too, Don Ho, a regular. And then there's this guy.
The Elvis fans, they're like cuckoo for this place. Every day, tons of Elvis fans come through. And then they just sit here and they imagine their king.
Over the years, the film crews have used Coco Palms time and time again as their backdrop. Elvis's Blue Hawaii, arguably the most famous, plus more than a dozen other movies and shows. Flashback, Fantasy Island's famous wedding scene, remember that? And more recently,
here's your chance.
Jeffrey Rush and Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean, tied up and held captive in the Grove. And the whimsical South Park, finding Elvis in the ghostly halls of a Coco Palms in disrepair.
This is the place in Hawaii. It will be again.
In 1992, happy times turned to hard times with a big wallop from Hurricane Iniki. More than 20 years later,
I think we're pretty well over Iniki. You know, until you drive by the Coco Palms, and Larry Rivera would do his main show in there.
It's as if time stood still. Everything, including the once famous lounge overlooking the lagoon, now cracked, crumbling, and crusted over.
It was kind of this mysterious thing, and so we kind of took a step back and we scratched our head and we thought, how do we get our arms around this thing?
Today, developer Tyler Green and the Coco Palms Hui are taking on what others have abandoned. Since Iniki, several developers have tried and failed to secure money, plans, or a consensus among the community on how to rebuild.
So we knew that, you know, it's going to take a special approach to be able to pull this off. And so we kind of sat back and figured if we do this, we want to do this the right way.
He says rosier market conditions made the timing right. An extended Iniki ordinance means a fast track on building permits. And a plan that keeps the footprint of Coco Palms the same is finally getting the thumbs up from the community.
So we've got a good foundation to start from.
These are some of the Queen's cottages.
As bad as it looks, Green says the bones of Coco Palms are good. So scrap the wood, peel back to the studs, rebuild, restyle, and restore the iconic. The intricate tile art depicting the ethnicities of the islands. The famous conch shell, the largest of its kind in the world. Then clean up the grove and rewrite an ode to Hawaii's past.
Starting to do a whole lot of cleanup work around here. I mean, this was the jungle a week ago.
Green says the project and hotel will generate about 1,700 jobs, rebuilding some 350 rooms, the bungalows, 3 restaurants, including the Shell across the street, and beefing up a cultural center for learning the history and the arts.
It's just our hope that we do right by them.
It's waking up.
Jasper says they've been making T-shirts, building a new fan base online, and preparing for a new chapter as the Coco Palms prepares for an encore.
Well, of course I believe it. It's the first time I believed it.
On Kauai, Laurie Yamada, KITV4 News.
You want to close your eyes and think it's going to look like it did.
So much potential there. It would be amazing to see.
But one problem, though, is figuring out how to get people safely across the highway to the restaurants and the beach. Developers say they'll have a shuttle that'll be running almost constantly to accommodate its guests.
And as for a timeline, they expect building permits to clear by the fall and construction to begin before the end of this year. We're looking forward to that.